Beep boop bop, it's Becca and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a diamond friendship bracelet. So this friendship bracelet, it looks really cool in the end, but it's actually pretty simple to make. So here we go.
So here is an example of what our diamond friendship bracelet will look like when we're all done. And so our first step is to set up our colors. And so for this one, I chose to do some rainbow colors. And so to set up, you want to think about how long each of your strings needs to be. So for this one, I had to make sure that the black, because that's the string that's used the most, is the longest. And then would be the purple, and then the green, and then the pink, because you want to think about how much you're going to use each color. So for this one, we're going to have the red be the longest, then the orange, then yellow, then green, then blue, then purple. And so each string is going to be doubled over, and we're going to create a knot so it's like there's two of each string. And here is our loop knot. Our red string is definitely the longest. This string is about 3 feet long, and then next is the orange, and then the yellow, and then the green, then the blue, then the purple. So I have now fastened our strings into this box. You can use anything to hold it down. And now we want to start off by doing a normal V. So we want to do it with the red. We want to do it with the red because, again, like here, we start off with a black V, and then each color that you want to be the most prevalent you do right after the red. So we're going to do it in rainbow order again. So we're going to start off by doing a V, which means we're going to take our red, we're going to make a knot onto our orange, which means we're going to do 2 4s. So we're going to make a 4, pull it all the way through, and do it again. And remember, 2 4s equals 1 knot. And then we're going to move on to the yellow. And if the first V doesn't look the best, don't worry, just because the first V always looks a little messy. So onto the yellow. And then we're going to do it onto the green. And then onto the blue. And then onto the purple. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but it's going to be backwards. So we'll start off with the red. And we'll be doing 2 backwards 4s onto the orange string. So backwards 4, pull it all the way through. 1, 2. Then we'll move on to the yellow. One, 2. Then green, then blue, then purple. So now that we have both of our reds in the middle, you're going to attach the 2 reds. So you're going to do a knot. You can do it either way you want. Now you can see our first V starting to form. Now we're going to move on to our orange. So the orange is going to be just like the purple in this one. So I'm going to take the orange and we're going to start doing a V just like we did with the red. So the orange will go onto the yellow, but instead of going all the way into the middle, we're going to stop when we get to the red. So remember, when you're doing the V part on the left side, you're doing forwards knots, and when you're doing it on the right side, you're doing backwards knots. And every time you do a knot, you have to do 2 4s. 2 4s equals 1 knot. It'd be helpful to know how to do the V stitch, which is also called chevron, before you begin to do this one. And into the purple. And now we stop before we get to the red. So the red is still in the middle, and we have our orange all the way in. Now we're going to do the same thing with our yellow. So go all the way back out, and we do the yellow because that is the next color in line, all the way on the left. So we're going to take our yellow, We're going to go over onto our green. Then onto the blue, and then onto the purple. And we're actually not going to see the purple until we're all the way into the middle of our diamond. And now green. Green is only going to go over the blue and the purple. You can start to see that our rainbow is forming. It looks really cool. And then last, we have the blue. Blue onto the purple. There we go. And now you can start to see our rainbow forming right here. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And so remember, now that we're on the right side, we're going backwards. So all of our knots will be to the left. And we're going to do the same thing that we just did on the other side. So we're going to start with our orange onto our yellow. Two backwards fours. Then onto the green, blue, and then purple. And remember, we're going to stop before we get to the red. We're going to go back to the beginning of our row and do the yellow. And now our green. And then our blue. Remember, we don't use the purple yet. There we go. Now make sure that all your colors are still on their correct sides. And let's find those reds that are in the middle. So here's our red on the left side. Now this is where you can start to see the diamond. So we want our red to go out this way, down the row. So we're going to take our red and we're going to go backwards. We're going to take our red onto the orange. So two backwards fours because we're making our way back out this way. Backwards. Backwards. And we're going to keep going until our red is all the way back on the outside. So now onto the yellow. We do backwards. Backwards. Now onto our green. Now onto our blue. And onto our purple. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's find our red one. And we're going to do a straight line all the way down. So onto our orange first and then all the way down to purple. There we go. And now this is starting to look so good already. So now for our next step, we're pretty much going to be making our rainbow down the center now. So we have our red going this way, and then we're going to have our orange going both ways, and then our yellow going both ways. And each one is going to get smaller and smaller. So now we want to connect our two orange strings in the middle. We're going to do that, but you can do a forwards knot or a backwards knot. I like to do backwards. I'm going to take the string on the right. I'm going to do two backwards fours onto the other orange. So we're making one knot in the middle, and then our oranges split back up to their respective sides. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go backwards straight down. I'm going to go over the yellow, and then the green, and then the blue, and then the purple. And we want to go all the way down and then stop before we get to the red. So So we're gonna go over the blue and then over the purple. And then we're gonna stop. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So our orange is going to go straight down this way, just as a normal stripe. So we're doing forwards, fours. Green, blue, and then purple. We stop before we get to the red. There we go. So we finished with our orange. Now we're going to do the same thing with the yellow. So our two yellow strings come together. I'm going to do that by doing a backwards 4, just to connect them. You can see we have one yellow knot right in the middle, and then this yellow is going to come down this side, and the other yellow is going to go down the other side. There we go, you start to see this rainbow right in the middle forming. Now we do the same with the green. Green onto blue and then purple. And remember, we're always stopping before we get to that last color that we just did. So now with the green, we stop before we get to the yellow. And you can kind of tell where the natural stopping point looks, because then you'll be going in the complete opposite direction, and you don't want that. Something that I like about this bracelet is that it's actually relatively simple once you get the pattern down, but it ends up looking really cool in the end. And you can use any number of colors that you want. So for this one, we have a total of 6 colors, and that's going to make a pretty thick bracelet. But then in my other example, that one only uses a total of 4 colors, and it's a lot thinner and it'll be a lot quicker to make. So it's really just up to you how thick you want your bracelet to look and how many colors you want to use. And it'll be the same pattern no matter how many strings you use. Now the blue. Then we only go onto the purple, so there's only a little bit of blue showing. And then our purple. So our purple, they're just gonna make a knot together, and that's it. So just one little dot of purple. There we go. So now we finished our whole rainbow in the middle. So now, because this is the diamond stitch, we want to have our red go back in to complete the diamonds. We have the top, and then we'll have the bottom. So you're gonna do red straight down, and connect them in the middle. And once we finish this V, we'll be back to where we started. And you just do the whole thing again. You keep repeating it until your bracelet is complete. Now to complete our V, we will connect our reds back together. And there we go. Our first diamond is complete. And the thing with this bracelet is that you don't have to go all the way until it fits around the wrist. You can go off into doing some sort of twist, or you can do a braid, or you can do a fishtail, and that will help you tie the knot in the end.
And that is how you make the diamond friendship bracelet. So I hope that video was helpful. If it was, please give the video a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you want to see more friendship bracelet videos. I have a wave tutorial, and I also have a flower bracelet tutorial. Both of those look super cool, so check those out if you're interested. Also let me know in the comments if you want to learn how to make any other types, and I can try and teach you those as well. So I'll see you next time. Bye.